Hi guys, so I wanted to talk to you very quickly about some of the events that are going on right now. On the screen you'll see there's the American flag in North Carolina, Cape Fear, which is shredded. Obviously the fear reference is being used quite a bit in terms of where these nuclear plants are located that are in danger in this hurricane. Also the Bob Woodward book, Fear, it will kind of seems to be connecting to that part of the Bible where men's hearts are failing them because of fear. We're seeing the sea and the waves roaring. It's all happening. So it's biblical connection as well as their convoluted iPad Go 2 video connection. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this video so you can see what's happening. So you can see the flag is not completely ripped up as in iPad Go, but it's the same symbolic suggestion. The flag is being destroyed by some sort of wind event. We know it's a wind event because the piece that's ripped off here gets whipped off into the distance and comes over and down here somewhere. So looks like there's multiple connections to this video that have been made over the last couple of days, which just goes to show that these people planned this a long time ago and put it into an animated video cryptically, because people aren't going to really take a cartoon seriously, are they? Except we did, and it looks like they're now coming to pass. So in reference to Cape Fear and the nuclear plants that are in danger, there's more than 6 nuclear plants there, but they are quoting that 6 could potentially be in danger in the path of Hurricane Florence. One in particular is called, let me just skip to the next report. So the one that's in the most danger is called Duke Energy's Corpse Dual Reactor, 1,870 megawatt Brunswick plant. It sits just 4 miles inland from Cape Fear, a pointy headland jutting out into the Atlantic Ocean just south of the city of Wilmington, North Carolina. Brunswick has survived decades of run-ins with hurricanes, but Florence could be its biggest test yet. The plant, purchased near the banks of the Cape Fear River, which drains 9,000 square miles of the state's most densely populated regions. So the storm surging, the flooding, this nuclear plant sitting by a river, and the example of a water type event kind of having an effect on a nuclear plant has been already tested in 2011 with the Japanese earthquake. A 1.2 earthquake tsunami punch knocked out the safety systems at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, triggering an explosion of hydrogen gas and meltdowns in 3 of its 6 reactors, the world's worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. And if you look at the Illuminati card, one of them is related to depopulation, and that depopulation is in connection with a nuclear meltdown or a nuclear attack of some kind. So looking out very closely for this particular nuclear power plant, Duke Energy's Corpse, which is located in Cape Fear, for any signs of nuclear meltdown going on there. Obviously, if there is signs that something is happening there, the likelihood that they will report it publicly immediately is very, very low. So if any of you guys are able to get information out of that area, perhaps you know someone who's stayed in that area, though they shouldn't have, but if they stayed in that area and you're able to communicate with them, we might be able to get an earlier warning than what we would get from the mainstream media, because they are quite slow to give us the information. Usually you'll find quicker information on social media sites like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, because it's an instant access for people, and a lot of times mainstream media pick up their reports from social media as well. They can't be everywhere, although they are part of this whole plan to show us exactly what they want to show us and not what we should really be seeing in most cases. This is interesting. A huge tsunami or marine superweapon. Scientists baffled when a killer wave heading towards Hong Kong disappeared. Now, there's a little video here that I'm going to play.
April 18th, 2003. NASA's flagship Terra research satellite picks up a frightening image in the South China Sea. It looks like one of the largest tsunamis ever, and it's headed straight for Hong Kong, a city of 7 million people.
To see a wave on a satellite even with modern technology about satellites, means that wave has to be pretty darn big.
And there isn't one mega wave. There's a whole series of them.
They're gargantuan. They span like an entire ocean. I mean, these things are huge. This is going to cause complete and utter devastation.
Experts measure the wave. This image is taken from over 400 miles above the Earth. Each pixel is 800 feet across. By crunching the numbers, analysts calculate the waves are over 500 feet tall. 10 times the size of the tsunami in the Indian Ocean that in 2004 killed 250,000 people.
We think of a big tsunami as tens of feet. You know, a big one would be 30 or 50 feet or something like that. We have waves in the ocean that are up to 2,000 feet high. That's as big as skyscrapers.
Then something extraordinary happens. It never hits land. The giant tsunami disappears. It vanishes from satellite images. Which leaves a baffling question. What on earth just happened? Was this just a technical error?
Modern weather satellites carry a huge number of very sensitive instruments, so when you go through the process of launching them into space and bringing them online, a lot of things can happen.
When I see these pictures, it looks to me as if they're simply computer glitches.
But systems on the Terra satellite are constantly being checked, and all are working fine. Wild speculation starts to spread. Could the huge waves be man-made? A test, perhaps, of some exotic marine weapon. Some claim that such a weapon has been used before to attack Japan.
There are even those who believe that 2011 tsunami that knocked out the Fukushima nuclear power plants may have been generated. You use it as a weapon.
Weird as it sounds, a devastating tsunami weapon is something military researchers have explored. During the Second World War, scientists from the US and New Zealand conducted a series of tests in which underwater explosions were used to trigger giant tidal waves capable of destroying coastal cities. They called it Project SEAL. Are these mid-ocean tsunamis the terrifying realization of that prototype weapon?
There are certainly a number of secret military facilities in this area.
If these giant waves were the result of a weapons test so close to China, was it meant to be a secret? Or was it meant to be seen?
It's all part of the games that countries play to try to keep other countries guessing at their capabilities.
But these waves tower hundreds of feet and stretch for hundreds of miles. The total mass of water would weigh billions of tons. To generate such a wave would be a huge operation, involving one or more nuclear devices placed in the sea. And even more puzzling, a tsunami tends to increase in velocity until it smashes into land.